Live and loaded. What up, boys and girls? How's everybody doing? Z-Man, Chatterbait hat on tonight. Hey, John, Ray, how you guys doing? I have been poking around on Karl's Club because of these cool deals they got going on with their sale, and I bumped into, you guys know I like my fishing kits. What up, Matthew and Wild Gill? I like fishing kits. You guys know I like fishing kits. In fact, I ordered a couple of fishing kits from 6 Sense Lures. They should be in. They may already be in here if I remember right. I'm going to do an unboxing of those as well. Hey, Grandpa Woody, how you doing? But this, I ran into, whenever I go on Karl's, I look for what's new. And then I've tried pretty much all of their fishing kits except for like the fly fishing kits and stuff, because I'm not really into fly fishing that much. Bam, this Z-Man Essentials kit came up on the screen, and I was like, Z-Man Essentials kit. I love Z-Man products. What's this? So I went on the website there to check it out, and I'll share my screen with you and show you what they say about it before I break it open, so you can take a look here. So if you're a Karl's Club member, you pay $31 for this thing. If you're not, $44. And they say that this thing has a total MSRP of $50.92. So basically, if you're a Karl's Club member, you save almost $20 on this thing. And I love Z-Man products, man. Ever since the TRD, I fish with their products constantly. I love them. So that's a dang good deal. I was like, dude, I gotta try that. I gotta see what's in that Z-Man Essentials kit. Now, if after you see this video and you say to yourself, dude, I want to do that. I want to get the Essentials kit, and you're not a Karl's Club member, the deal's even better, man, because you can sign up for Karl's Club, and because they're doing this spring, what do they call it? The Spectacle Lure Spring Sale. It's running now through April 3rd. You can get this $31 price, but if you're a brand new Karl's Club member, then you can take $10 extra off for your first order of $25 or more. That's for a new customer. So if you're new, you can get this thing for $21.49. And on top of that, if you happen to be a veteran, military veteran, they give you a military discount on top of that. So you can get this thing for, half price. So that's a dang good deal. And these are baits. Every one of these baits in this kit are really good, high quality baits you can use immediately. So I'm pretty stoked about it. Now, if you say, well, I'm already a Karl's Club member. Well, if you're already a Karl's Club member, you still get the $31.49 deal. If you're a veteran, you can get your veteran discount, but they're also giving you an extra $5 credit for every 25 you spend. So you don't get money off of the $31.49, but you do get $5 credit in your account that you can use on something else. So anyway, enough of that. I just wanted to let you guys know about that in case you're thinking about it. This is the best way I know of to get it cheaper. So let me stop screen share there. Hey, Julie and Chris and Josh, how you guys doing? All right, so let's look in this thing. I'm going to show you. I took a little extra time on this. I'm actually going to even show you. I'm going to show you how to rig some of this stuff. So first thing in the box, let me see here. Chris Hill, how you doing, man? It's been a while. The TRD bugs is the first thing I'm going to show you. Here it is, the TRD bugs. Now, one thing about Z-Man, if you never used any Z-Man, all of their baits are this Elastec 10 times tough plastic. And let me tell you, super, super durable. This stuff is crazy durable. There are some downsides to Elastec. You guys that have used it before know. One of the problems is changing his oil in his lower unit. Nice. One of the problems with Elastec is it cannot touch any other plastic. If you let this touch other plastic, come back tomorrow and it'll already have started melting into the other plastic. So that's probably the worst thing about Elastec. It's true for every company that has this kind of stretchy plastic. But the positives outweigh the negatives. It's super durable, super strong. One pack of baits will last you a long, long time, which is great. Hey, Alan, how's it going? The other downside, and this to me is a bigger downside than the plastic touching each other. It bugs the heck out of me, to tell you the truth. And that is, you cannot dip this stuff in dyes. It just disintegrates them, which really burns me because I love to add color to my lures. And I use, most of the time, I use JJ's Magic and a few other products. JJ's Magic is my favorite. But you dip this in JJ's Magic, it totally dissolves. Gone. Yeah, and of course, it ruins your bottle of JJ's Magic because it's full of these little plastic pellets. So keep that in mind. Now, the how do you guys fish the TRD bugs? The guys that and gals that have already fished this. To me, I put this on as a jig trailer. That's about the only way I fish this, to tell you the truth. I'm not saying there's not other ways you can fish it. It's very tiny. I guess you could put like a Finesse flipping rig if you wanted. You could always Carolina rig and stuff. Maybe a Mojo rig, which is more finessey. But this thing is so small that to me, about the only thing I really use it for is a jig trailer. Now, this color is interesting because it's not very sexy. You know, I love to talk about color. This color is not one that's going to lure you, the fisherman, in. It's not that sexy, but it's deadly because it's so subtle. It's more realistic and lifelike than a lot of colors out there. It's what I would call a natural color. And the fish love this kind of stuff. All right. You guys know I love this new little jig by Thunderhawk, the grunt jig. So I went ahead and rigged up one of these TRD bugs on the back of a grunt so you could see what it looks like. I've trimmed this jig down some. And the thing I don't like about this is it's kind of little, it got a little bent in the package. I should have gotten one that's a little more straight. But to tell you the truth, when you're fishing a jig with a jig trailer, I don't think this matters at all. It's not like fishing a fluke where you've got to have it perfectly lined up and you can't have it bent for the action. Doesn't this jig though look sick? And then you put this, you put this mud blood or this bloodworm color on there. Look how good it pairs up with that jig color. Yeah, I did cut down the skirt, Julie. I cut down the skirt for a couple of reasons. Usually when I'm fishing a finesse jig, I like to trim the skirt down, and I'll usually cut it close to the bottom of the bend of the hook. This one I went a little longer, And then, especially if I'm putting a little finesse trailer on here, you don't want the skirt to get in the way of the trailer. So you trim that skirt so that the trailer actually can be seen by the fish. So that's, to me, that's a cool little product there. And that little thing is it's never not gonna tear up on you. It will not. I mean, you could fish it all day probably. You're gonna break off the jig before you lose that, before you tear up that jig trailer. Yeah, Julie, the mini D-bomb is another great little trailer about like that would work good on that jig. You are right. Good suggestion there. Okay. The next thing is what got me into Z-Man products, the TRD. I freaking love the TRD. It's still my favorite Ned rig bait, and I've tried a bunch of them. It's still my favorite. Check out this color though, Twilight. I love this color. What's this color look like? You fishermen, you know what this thing looks like. Mr. Bass, all you have to do for that is make the skirt. Yeah. Yep, I do that too, Matthew, but that's a good reminder there. What does this color look like? Those of you that throw robo worms, everybody's copying this color now. It's pretty much a morning dawn color is what that is. And that's a great color, man. That's a great smallmouth color. But the largemouth will hit that as well. Very nice color. Yeah, Grandpa Woody, it also looks like Tequila Sunrise for sure. So how do I rig this? I always just rig this on a Ned rig, and I got it rigged up here to show you. I fish the Ned rig with an open hook, and I also fish it weedless. This is my weedless setup. Normally I'm going to skin hook this, but I left it open so you could see the hook. And this little guy, this little TRD right here will catch you 50 fish before it tears up. I mean, it's just, it floats, so this thing is going to stay up in the water. And that little color combination I'm excited to try out. As I said, they call this Twilight, but it's a Tequila Sunrise, Morning Dawn, Margarita Mutilator's another one for sure. I love the Ned rig, Alan, and I fish it all the time, and it's a fish catcher. The Ned rig catches you quantities, but it will catch you big fish too. Do not be fooled into thinking that you cannot catch a big fish on a Ned rig, because you absolutely can. All right, it's okay if Ned rig fishing is kryptonite for you. Don't worry. There's other products out there that you can fish with that are awesome as well. Right on, Gray. I agree with you. It's already a great box. All right, let's see. What do I got next here? So that was the TRD. Now the TRD Craws is also, it's kind of one of the older finesse baits that I also love to put on a Ned rig. I don't know, do any of you fish the TRD Craws on something other than a Ned rig? For me, sorry, Texas Huntsman, this is another Ned rig bait. And this one I went ahead and rigged on an open Ned head, just so you could see the difference. This little guy, man, again, it's a smallmouth killer. But the spots, the largies, they'll all eat this. So will the crappie. The crappie will eat this sucker. And these little pinchers, they float straight up This thing looks so killer, so lifelike in the water. I think this is just a plain green pumpkin color. Yeah. Green pumpkin, TRD Craws, great little bait. And that's not a bad thought, Julie. Trying it on the Tokyo rig. You'd have to obviously use a pretty small Tokyo rig hook, but it probably would work. It really probably would. Yeah, normally I'm not going to put this on a white Ned head, Ray. I just did this so you guys could see it well. I use these white Ned heads for when I'm fishing in beds, and I want to get their attention. So the TRD Craws are my favorite little crawdad Ned rig lure. I really like it a lot. All right, moving right along here. Next thing is the Finesse worms. Okay, now when you see the Finesse worms, this is watermelon color. You can definitely fish this the way most of you would probably think about fishing this, which is drop shot, right? This is a 10-pack of worms. Super durable, like all the Elastec. These things are super durable, super stretchy. This just shows you how well Elastec stretches. This is a little finesse worm. There's a ton of different ways to fish a little finesse worm, but I'm going to show you one way that maybe some of you guys have not thought about, because you might think to yourself, the worm's too small to fish it, Texas rig. So let me show you my little Texas rig of my finesse worm right here. Now, I got into this kind of finesse Texas rig fishing a couple of years ago when we could not get bit, kind of in the post spawn, kind of after the spawn and the post spawn. Sometimes post spawn, the fishing gets a little challenging. And you can take a little hook like this. This is a little, let me show you what hook this is that I like to use on this. This is a Gamakatsu G Finesse light wire worm hook. This is a size 1. See the little keeper? The little keeper on there? That is the key. With this Elastec, you got to have a good keeper that will hold it in place. And this little G Finesse hook is great for this. And I usually will start out fishing this weightless. I won't have a weight. I got a weight on here to show you guys. But usually I don't fish it weightless. With a weight, I'm going to start out weightless. And you'd be amazed how many bites you will get. This obviously is a sight fishing technique. So in super dirty water, it's not going to do you as well. But if you're in clear or semi-clear water, as in 2 to 3 feet of visibility or more, this little guy, and the beauty of this little thing with this little micro hook is you can pitch this thing in the thick stuff. You can throw it in brush piles, lay downs, rock piles, all over the place, and it's hard to hang this thing up, which is why I like this little finesse worm so much. Yeah, George, you could free rig it. I have never free rigged this. Obviously, the free rig technique's fairly new, but all a free rig is a Texas rig with a like a drop shot style weight that moves freely up and down the line like this one's moving. So you could definitely free rig it as well. That's not a bad thought. The split shot rig is another great way to fish this. You're right, Texas Huntsman. Uh, yeah. Another name for split shot rig is the Mojo rig. Definitely you could do that there. And then there's other kind of more creative ways you could try to fish it. But for me, just a plain Texas rig with this kind of hook is pretty darn deadly. And you get 10 of those in that package, and one package will last you a week, maybe more. And you know, that's the thing about these baits. You're not gonna tear them up. What's gonna happen is you're gonna break them off. That's how you lose them. In fact, Z-Man would be out of business if they were waiting for you to tear them up because of the fish. They get their products replaced because you break off. That's pretty much the way it happens. I mean, they make some good stuff. So that color is watermelon, and that's the Finesse worms. All right, what's next on the board here? The trick shots. Now, the trick shots are truly, I'm fishing this as a drop shot bait. Not to say you couldn't fish them other ways. You could put a trick shot you could put it on a Ned rig if you wanted. There's definitely other ways you could fish it. But for me, I'm usually putting the trick shots on a drop shot. In case some of you have never seen a drop shot before, I've got one rigged up here just so you can see it. Illustration purposes only. Here's your bait. See if it will not focus on me. Here's your bait floating in the water. And here's your weight down here. It's funny because I pull it back here, then you can see it. There it is. Drop shotting. There's multiple different hooks you can use, and this hook is actually even a little bigger than I would use, but I wanted a kind of a good size hook. It's not that you can't use this, you absolutely can. But I usually use maybe one size smaller than that. I don't know what size this is off the top of my head. It's probably like a number 2. And just, this is a nice color. This is like a goby or something. What color is this? They call it Shiner. This is a 5-pack. Again, these are super durable. And they work just great. Drop shotting. Great. I fished with them up on the Great Lakes, up there on the St. Lawrence River. A lot of places where a drop shot works anywhere. It seems like this part of the world, we don't throw the drop shot nearly as much. But Kick Your Bass, how you doing, man? Yeah, this does match my shirt. It blends right in. But yeah, that's a nice drop shot bait. The trick shots in the Z-Man Essentials kit. Yeah, I like the red hooks too. Especially on a drop shot, I like doing a red hook because it just kind of gives them. Drop shotting is total sight fishing technique. Just gives them something else to hone in on. A little bit of contrast. I like the red hooks. Alan, give the drop shot a try. I think you'll like it. The one problem with the drop shot is it's not very weedless. You got to have a pretty nice open. You can rig it weedless. You could use that same hook that I used for my worm. This same hook right here, I also will use for drop shotting right here. And then you can rig your bait weedless. You don't have to rig it weedless this way, but you can if you want to drop shot with a worm hook. That's a very nice color. The Gobi Bryant color is really good too, Dad Bot. I agree. I've fished with it quite a bit. I think it's an excellent color. So, man, not a single bad product in this box. You got to admit, the box is great. And we got 3 more products still. Here's one. This one Texas Huntsman might like a little better because the Bang Sticks is a bigger bait. Not as finessey as a lot of these we've been showing you. The Bang Sticks. Now, what's cool about the Bang Sticks, it's a Cinco style bait, but the magic is right here on the end. These little tentacles. They just give the fish a little different look. Those 4 little tentacles, and you get this in the water, wiggling and jiggling, and man, that's a beautiful thing. Now, the way I would fish this, there's 2 ways. I'll show you my alternate way first and then my preferred way. My alternate way is the Ned rig. On this one, though, I have a much bigger Ned rig hook. This is one of those Bico Ned heads. And it's a much bigger Ned rig bait. But this would be for my Texas Ned rigging. This is what I would use. This nice, big hook and Ned head along with this big old honking jiggity worm, the Bang Sticks. And this is that beautiful color. They gave me 2 of the, I love this color. I'm very happy that I got this in 2 different products, this color. Yeah, Fat Guy Bassin, you beat me to the punch. I said this is my alternate way, but Fat Guy Bassin, he nailed it. This bait screams Neko rig. The Neko rig is the way I fish this. And if you don't know what the Neko rig is, you put a weight in the head. And a lot of guys use nail weights, which I use as well. But I've started using these Z-Man built-in Neko weights. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Let me show you one. Oh, where are they? Let me show you one if you've never seen one in person, because they are great Neko weights in my opinion. I'm running out of room here. There it is. This is the Z-Man Neko weight. Another slight problem with Elastec is there are some things that are hard to get Elastec on. Like Elastec does not work well on anything that has a screw that you have to screw your bait on. Not good for Elastec. But this thing works great. It's like a needle that goes in, and it's got these 2 keepers that hold it in place, and it stays in the worm very well. It is. You are true. You are right, Texas Huntsman. It does float, but this weight is heavy enough that it's going to get it down. This is also why I use a bigger hook on my Neko rig. As you see, that may look like a honking big hook for some of you guys, but unless I am in a bunch of cover, I like this big hook. I found that it doesn't really distract from me catching fish. I don't think it hurts the bite at all. And I've just found that on the Neko rig and the Wacky rig, I do much better with a bigger hook. But you can kind of see, this is what it would look like in the water. It's going to go down, and that's what it's going to look like. So that's, let me show you the hook. I'll use the 3/0 and the 4/0 size of this. This is the G Finesse tournament grade It's kind of funny. It's a heavy cover worm hook, but it's a Finesse, as it says there. Finesse heavy cover worm hook. I really like this hook a bunch. I use it for wacky rigging. I use it for Ned rigging or Neko rigging. I use it for a lot of finesse techniques. I will also use it for some flipping and pitching if I'm not like punching through into heavy cover and that kind of stuff. So that's my preferred way. And then this is the alternate way. You could choose whichever one you want. They're both going to slay the fish. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yeah, I don't know. For years, I was really stubborn, especially with like the wacky rig. And I was like, I'm going to use a small wacky hook. That's the way the technique was started. And I just lose way too many fish that way. I just don't catch the fish nearly as good when I'm using a round circle type wacky rig hook. I like the bigger hooks. So for whatever that's worth. Okay, that is all of the soft plastics in the box. Now we have jackhammer. Probably the best chatterbait on the market, or one of the best, the jackhammer. And I thought that's cool. You know, they didn't put their $3 chatterbait or their $8 chatterbait. They put the top of the line jackhammer in this essentials box. And I love that. I think that's great. Now, if you kind of keep the Z-Man theme, I thought I would show you a very nice Z-Man trailer you can put on this. It did not come in the box though, and I guess that's the one thing that they're missing. I'd say it's the only thing that I really feel like they probably should have put a trailer in the box if they're going to put a jackhammer, because none of the baits that they put on here I would really use as a trailer. You could use these TRD bugs, but they're too small, in my opinion, for the chatterbait. Bruce left a rattle trap in the tree yesterday. I know how that feels. So this, to me, is probably Z-Man's best product for jackhammer or chatterbait trailers. I don't know what you guys think, but I think these are pretty good. They're very durable, and they fit the jackhammer great. So great product though, the jackhammer, and this color I think is a very nice too. Green shad. Green shad. Dude, is this a good kit or what? You can get it for 30 bucks. And if you're new to Karl's Club, you can get it for $21.50. Dang. That would set you up all spring long, man. All right, and wrapping it up, the final product in the box is a hollow body frog. Everybody needs a frog. And dude, the Leap Frogs is also a great bait. Let's face it, we all need frogs. We all need frogs. Frogs are awesome. But that's the Z-Man Essentials Kit in a nutshell. How about that? If you are in the club, you get it for $31.49. So, yeah, I agree with you, Bruce. I think it's a smoking deal for 30 bucks. It's not even a bad price if you're not a member. If you just go with the with the regular price on their website, which is $44.99. So, anywho, that is the Z-Man Essentials kit. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. I enjoyed doing that. I like doing that kind of thing, and I'm probably going to do that also with the Z-Man kits that I got, or not the Z-Man, the 6 Sense kits. I got the pre-spawn kit and the spawn kit. So I'll do a video on those maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I don't know when. And I'll also show you some rigging options, just like I did on this show. Should be fun. So be prepared when you come to watch that show to share with me how you fish these techniques, because that should be a lot of fun. Now, obviously, the 6 Sense kits are going to have a lot more hard baits, but there'll be soft baits in there that we can rig as well, which would really be fun. Dude, I love fishing kits. And this Z-Man Lures Essentials kit, I mean, I think they nailed it. They hit it out of the park. So go check that out. When you go there, they may ask you for a code. You can use the MRBASS code. That just gives me credit for, hey, he's actually talking about our products. But nevertheless, I would talk about this product either way. I think it's a great, great deal. In fact, I'm only talking about great deals, stuff I really love. So thanks for hitting the like button. Appreciate that, guys. I will definitely see you Saturday night for the Spin to Win show. And we might get one of these 6 Sense spawn or pre-spawn kits in before then. We'll just see how it goes. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. Happy fishing. See you guys later. Bye-bye.